My fiancé stood me up at the altar for the 7th time, for another woman. All of New York's Upper East Side was waiting for me to become a laughingstock. And Nate Sterling was on the phone, personally providing them with the punchline. "Come on, Grandpa, she's not worth 8 figures." His voice blasted from Arthur Sterling's speakerphone, echoing through the silent wedding hall. I could find anyone on the street, and she'd still come crawling back. Snickers slithered through the crowd like venomous snakes. Mr. Sterling, his face grim, ended the call and turned to me with practiced apology. "Eleanor, as compensation, we can add another—" "Save it." I cut him off, my eyes sweeping over the mocking faces in the pews, their contempt barely hidden. "I've received the same compensation 6 times already." My gaze traveled past the crowd, landing on a figure in the darkest corner of the room. Julian Sterling stood there, Nate's despised, illegitimate brother, the family stain, always seated at the far end of the table during dinners. I raised my hand, pointing directly at him, my voice carrying to every corner. "Does the deal still stand? Whoever I marry becomes the next CEO of Sterling Enterprises. Then I choose him." Seeing I wasn't joking, the crowd fell into a stunned silence. After all, this was hardly the first time Nate had been a no-show at our wedding. The last time, Waverly heiress jilted again trended on Twitter, making my family the butt of Page 6 jokes for half a year. And even then, I never mentioned breaking off the engagement. Arthur Sterling tried to placate me. "Nate's just being foolish, Ellie. Just wait a little longer." He dialed Nate's number again, only to be cut off after a few words. "Don't bother, Grandpa. Ellie's not going anywhere, no matter how pissed she is. Besides, I'm not breaking up with her. I'm just taking Chloe to the Hamptons for a few days. I'll be back soon." Chloe Vance's cloying voice drifted through the phone. "Nate, I'm doing this for you, really. If she's willing to wait for you this many times, it must be true love." Listening to their shameless flirting, a bitter smile touched my lips. "You're that confident I'll always be waiting?" Nate seemed surprised that I was there, pausing for a moment. He softened his tone, trying to soothe me. "Ellie, you know how Chloe is. It's hard for her to accept that I'm getting married. We grew up together. She's too dependent on me. Just give me a little more time, okay? Once I get her settled, we'll have an even grander wedding. I promise." 6 postponements weren't enough. The moment Chloe, who had been building a career in Paris, found out about our engagement, she flew back to New York and threw a fit. Nate had once told me to my face, with a stern expression, that he only saw her as a sister. But later, for this sister, he turned me into the joke of the Upper East Side. Arthur Sterling's voice crackled with frustration on the other end of the line. "The wedding starts in 3 hours! My jet is waiting at the airport! You get your ass back here right now! Do you have any idea how many reporters are camped outside the hotel? Have you ever thought about how much this will hurt Ellie?" Nate's voice wavered with hesitation, and my heart instinctively fluttered. But in the next second, Chloe's whining voice came through again. "Nate, we already bought tickets for the music festival. If you leave now, I'll just find someone else to go with me. You know how many men are lining up to ask me out from Soho to Central Park? You wouldn't dare." Nate's voice was sharp with irritation. When he spoke to me again, it was with pure resignation. "Ellie, I really can't leave right now. You've handled this kind of thing before. It's not a big deal for you, right?" He said it so casually, as if the humiliation and ridicule I endured in front of the cameras were nothing more than a minor inconvenience. A dull, suffocating pain tightened in my chest. I couldn't help but let out a bitter laugh. Whatever you want. Whether he came back or not, it no longer mattered. Eager to get back to Chloe, Nate didn't notice the change in my tone. "All right, babe. Don't be mad. I got you a gift." A photo popped up on my phone. A Tiffany & Company necklace dangled from his fingers.